Hey everyone, welcome to the All Things Gratitude podcast. My name is Nick Dorsey. Thanks for being here with us. And this week is awesome. It's Canadian week. We have two of our favorite people from up north. And today is just awesome and special because I have somebody who I've been on LinkedIn with for about 7 or 8 months now, and she's been so supportive of me. Please welcome Paula Goodman, as we call maple syrup.
Hello, everybody. I thought I'd wear my outfit that we wear in winter, but you never know in Canada, so I don't know. I just thought I'm always prepared.
It could
for having me.
You get off of this, and it could be below. Well, be below zero or whatever Celsius is, and be freezing.
You know what? Come September, I am not taking any chances. So I usually have I was actually going to wear my big parka today, but I'm like, no, it's too heavy.
You mentioned in one of our chats or on one of the things that, you should come to Arizona or something. September, it'll be about 70 degrees here, 80 degrees, in that area, and just nice. So
I know.
We can't wait.
I've always wanted to go ever since, I heard of, I've met Canadians that have been there, and some go, like the snowbirds that'll go to Arizona as opposed to Florida, and they just love the climate, love it. So I'm like, I gotta go.
The people around the corner from my parents are from Canada, so they live in Arizona for 179 days so they can keep their health insurance. Yeah. And then they travel back for 181 days or something like that. So it was like perfect. So really cool, learning about how they have to do that. And actually, I don't know how that's affecting people now because I don't know if they're letting them cross the border right now, with everything going on. So I think if you're a Canadian citizen, you can. But I just don't know how that works out right now. So that's interesting. So.
Yeah, that's I think for family members it's okay, but if it's family related, there was some you need a really good reason. But I don't even know if that's but for the snowbird, snowbird, a lot of them do have family back here and address there, so that's
we have somebody following us live. I think you know this dude. I have a hard time recognizing him in this picture because I'm not used to him with hair. So that's what's up, Ira? Woo! So awesome.
How are you, Ira?
So let's start, Paula. About how we met on LinkedIn. It was really cool. Why am I getting back here? Let me do that. Bam, that's better. How we met, and if I recall correctly, it was right before I went to a conference actually down here in Arizona, and I was wearing a lime green shirt the first time, and you mentioned how much you liked my lime green shirt. So I said the next day I'm going to wear my salmon color shirt. And I, did a call out in that to you, shout out to you. And it was funny when I did the throwback the other day, you were just, I remember this, I remember that shirt. And I'm like, that's so awesome.
God, I so remember that video because there was just, you're so authentic and real and like a good guy. I like this guy, and that's your character. You can see it in you. And you find these people and you're just kind of like, that clicks. So I've been with you ever, and then I'd start seeing you in posts with Ira and Tina Oliver.
Yes, Tina.
I just thought it was really cool. I think I even experimented once when I was figuring out the hashtag thing, and I just blew up your
That's all good. I mean,
it was too funny.
You're my favorite person who goes to tag jail a lot. So I just that meme was because of you, because of everything else happening, and how many times I just send that to people now, and they just laugh. They just think it's the coolest thing ever. So it's kind of fun to do that. And then that hashtag has some followers to it. That's the greatest thing ever. I'm like, this is great.
I was like, oh my God. Yeah. I don't tag as much anymore, and I just minimizing it type thing, but it was when tagging people too, I don't even bother. But now I realize, because I'm talking so much, when you answer somebody and their name is there, that counts as a mention, right? So you only get a limit. That tells me that I've been yapping too much.
It's all good. I mean,
that's the whole idea, right?
well, let's look at this. And you're approaching 70,000 followers. There's a lot of people who like your content, like what you do. So obviously, chatting back with them for you is the natural thing to do, and the the right thing to do. So I can see how you can do all that. I mean, I'm sure you get tagged in a lot of posts, and you put a post and you don't have to tag a lot, and you get a lot of engagement on them. So it's like, what are you going to do? Sit there and just not engage with people and just let it go? No, you're going to fire back, and it's fun. It's great.
I spend hours chatting with people, and I'm always committed and dedicated to my own post. If they took the time to make that comment, that should be the priority. So you learn how to prioritize it, and then you go to other friends that you're interested in, your own interest type thing. The DMs, I try to get in there. They're a mess.
Oh, yeah, they are.
I need like a filing system in there. And I've asked LinkedIn, I want to bookmark everywhere. I want to be able to bookmark where I left off. If I go into the notifications, I have to go back. It refills and starts from the beginning. It drives me crazy. So I have my LinkedIn blues, and I want the bookmark feature. I don't know if it'll happen, but I'm still get a chance to bring it up every now and then. There is an open ticket, really.
I'm having the LinkedIn blues. You heard me yesterday complaining about it. I'm like, I put a post on it, I got 700 views. I'm like, I think that's my first post ever put on LinkedIn got that. I'm like, what is going on? And I went through, and there were posts I engaged on, and it was gone. It was missing. But I was getting tagged on somebody who replied to it. I hit it, and it was nowhere in the post. I'm like, what's going on? So I was getting a little frustrated yesterday, but it is what it is.
How many times have you got? I've done that, and I don't even know how to explain that. Where somebody tags me, and I can't find my comment.
Yeah, it happens to me. I mean, I'll click on the comment like you're supposed to, and it goes right to the comment. It doesn't do it sometimes.
Yeah.
On the desktop or laptop, barely does it for me. I almost do all LinkedIn on my phone. I find it's easier doing on my phone, but doing GIFs, it's easier for me to do it on the laptop or desktop. So it's what mood I'm in that day and where I'm sitting actually in my house. I don't want to get up and walk to my office, just put a GIF down. I'll just make a normal picture of it. I'm sure there's a way to do it right, and I'm sure Ira will start blowing me up and tell me how to do it, which will be awesome. But there's got to be a way to do it.
I can't do the GIFs in comments on my iPad. I haven't tried it on the phone, but I know you can do it on your laptop. But I'm rarely on the laptop. I'm usually on my iPad or my phone, depending on where I am or what's going on. But it's funny that you say it, because you look at LinkedIn, you got to think about all your posts. 40% of the readers, I think, are on a phone, which is, that's half practically. So, yeah.
Because it's convenient and easy.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to think of the commuters going to work and coming back again. They were using their phones. So,
absolutely. I used to post at certain, like really early in the morning on the West Coast because of the East Coast people riding trains because of the mass transit over there. And I've noticed my posts don't get as much engagement down in the morning because people aren't riding the train in. People aren't driving in because a lot of people are working from home. So I have to figure what the best time for me again is, because I had it hit for a while there. I do a post at 4:30 in the morning, and I mean, it'd be easy 10,000 views by this afternoon, and I have a small following then, so it was like I'm getting a lot of engagement going on this, and all of a sudden when COVID hit, it's kind of like, well, that slowed down quite a bit, and I got a way bigger following now, so it's interesting. So
yeah, COVID changed. I noticed the big time difference too. Like I used to get up early on the East Coast and put it in by hi Erica. Oh, I love Erica.
This dude.
Hey, Ron, he's like around the corner from me. No, just kidding. He's okay, an hour away.
Well, that's not bad.
No, we need to meet. We keep bypassing each other, but we're not connecting here.
Well, Tina's 10 to 15 minutes for me, and I still haven't met with her. But I've gone to Texas and met with Erica. I've gone to Atlanta, Georgia, met with.
I see. You're
Mendoza.
LinkedIn on life. You know, like you meet everybody in real life. It's just incredible. I love it.
Been to Indiana, met Joe up there. So I mean, it's crazy, you know. So Paula, if people don't know who you are, which a lot of people know who you are, tell them what you do with your poetry and your writing and everything, because it's so inspirational and it's really awesome to see. And I'm just so glad so many people just take it in and really enjoy what you do. So let them know what brought it upon you, and why did you start writing? Where did it come from for you?
Okay. I've been writing. I've written my whole life. Taking this off now. I think ever since I could pick up a pen or pencil and have paper, I mean, I would start with, I was always rhyming too half the time. And I would just write it out. And I kept it in like my little precious box. And I just kept these things to myself. And if a birthday came along or Father's Day, I used to always do my own little poetry and put it in a card. I actually have some still. Every now and then, but I was a child who didn't have encouragement where she needed it. And I didn't know that this was something else. I just did what I did, and I did it when I felt like it. And sometimes it was just something that would come over me and I would just feel compelled. I have to write this down, because if I don't write this down, I'm going to forget it. And these ideas or thoughts would just grow, and I would just like, oh my God, that sounds really neat. And I'd write it down. And then as a teenager, it would be like those dark moments, depression and sadness, or breakups, or life, your parents, your family, religion, everything. If I didn't understand something, I started writing about it. I'd be inspired by all sorts of things. But anyway, they just went into a box. So it was just something I had. Life gets in the way, not in the way, but you just start living your life when you go through all these things in life. And anytime I had some tragedy or mishap or even happy moments, I would often write about it. And sometimes I would write lyrics for songs. I had these tunes in my head. And again, they went into the box. I shared them with a few people every now and then. They love, but it's like, oh, you know, nobody ever said, why don't you go further with this? I never, ever thought about it that way. When I worked one job as a supervisor, I wanted to inspire the team. And the only thing I really did, I started throwing out a daily thought. And it was the first thing of the day that I would throw out, because it was in the service industry. And part of the pick-me-up would be to give them something to think about that had nothing to do with work, but just something to motivate them and make them think, wow, you know, it really isn't that bad. So I'd put quotes out there, and then I would start throwing in the ophisms. And so this was like way back. And then they start like, so if I missed a day or something, I'd be like, where's your ophism? Where's your ophism? You know? And I started collecting them and keeping them and everything. I've been notorious too, my whole life too, an adamant dater. Anything that I would write, I dated. I'd sign my name and date. I don't know. I just an OCD with that, but that was just something else. So anyway, fast forward, went through a bunch of crap. And then last year, I left the corporate road. It was a necessary step for me. There was a few things that I had gone through. I was dealing with the end of a narcissistic relationship, mental health issues, and dealing with some toxic workplace environment. All those three things I was living through. I had to move cities. I went through a lot. The depression, PTSD, and anxiety was just bang. I didn't even want to be here. And I think a lot of this is in the website too that I've revealed. And it became apparent to me that it was time to start sharing more about why I have words out here. So anyway, when everything was kind of resolved last year, it actually was more so in March it started. I decided, what am I going to do? What do I want to do? And it just came to me. I thought, okay, it's time. The writing. I like the writing. I've done a lot of training materials for customer service and managing people and my coaching and the one-on-ones with people. I really miss that type of work. And I always like to see something in somebody else and watch them get a spark. It's like you're telling them how to drive, and then when they're ready, you give them the keys and like, hey, I can do this. And then you just stand there and you're in the rear view mirror. Then you keep driving and you're always there like, hey, good for you. You know, anybody that's excelled because I've done something or made a difference, then it overjoyed me. So I thought, okay, how am I going to throw this into writing material? Then I was watching LinkedIn at the same time because I thought maybe I'm going to have to look for another. So I came back to LinkedIn but I never did anything. And I'm like, oh, wait, there's LinkedIn, you know, and I came back here and started thinking from what I was reading, all the jobless and people who needed help and inspiration. And I'm looking at them and I'm just going, you know what? I need to reach out to humanity to encourage people. I need to show that there is a way through. It's through the hardest falls in life that you can actually become better. It isn't about getting better. It's about everything being better after the fact. It does get better. It will get better. And I thought, how can I do this? And for some reason, it was like this voice inside my head. It's time to share the writing. And I just went to the writing and I thought, okay, I'm going to gradually, I just started doing posts and it turned into more poetry as I was going. It was a natural way. I would just start writing and it came out, but it was the impact I was trying to get through to people. And then it became more poetic. And then people were just saying, you just need to do the poetry. Like I listened to what people were telling me. I didn't go out there right away. You have to slowly, just like in any business relationship or any human relationship, you slowly, gradually get to know people. So I was slowly, gradually doing the same thing on LinkedIn. And then it just blew up and people are like, okay, the titles, and then I added imagery. Every title that was there, the word Jedi poetess, were bestowed to me by other people on LinkedIn. I will never forget them. Pramith and Pramith Ranjar, I call him the Godfather. Every now and then in the comments, you'll see my Godfather of Poetess. He's the one that first called me that, and other people would pick up on it and use that title. And then Michael Cortina, he called me the word Jedi, and then other people start calling it, and then they're like, put it in your profile. And so I listened to everybody else pretty much and gave them what they wanted. And now it just went like that as we speak.
You know, Curtis put something here from the heart. That is what it's all about. Kudos to you, Paula. Curtis is one of our good buddies, so there are people here just putting some awesome stuff, writing some great stuff about you, Paula. I mean, you're very well respected, you know, and sometimes we experience things in life that we don't understand at the moment. And then, you know, but somewhere down the road, it makes sense sometimes. And you said you're able to give back and help people, and it's what you do afterwards. And your following's so huge, and you're affecting so many people. That is just absolutely amazing. And that's one of the things I like
Yeah.
following you, because you're so kind-hearted. I mean, you write and you do it from the heart. And that's the thing. You do it from the heart. And there's a lot of people out there that write stuff and they just write it because
I
they
do.
know lyrics are bad or anything, but you're so genuine when you do yours. So I just love it.
Thanks.
I mean, I'm so glad we crossed paths,
I do.
you know. And so,
Aw, thank you.
yeah, it's just,
Honest to God, it really is. When I figure, so I was thinking, okay, I committed to doing it up the year. Can you hear me?
yeah, you're kind of going in and out. It's a little rough, but it's all good.
Okay.
There you are.
Yeah, no. So I gave the commitment to post every day to the end of 2019, and then see what happens. And it became something where, you know what, it was okay to take a break after that, but I was committed to doing every single day a post. It was my job. It's still, I see it as my job. It's evolving, and now people want a book. I'm working in the background there, reviewing on how to do that, because there's a lot of work there.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
I might know somebody who can get you a press release, so we can talk about that.
I've already mentioned it to him, but you know, we got to get the book out there first. So whatever.
That's awesome. I'm glad you're doing that. I mean, that is, like I said, sometimes you do things and you commit to it and you don't realize how much it actually affects other people, because to you it's just what you do. But now when other people react to it, and like this, everyone on this live right now loves you dearly.
Oh, I love them all too. Aww.
Yeah, and you know, and
Come on.
you know, and it's great because we all respect you, and you're so giving back to all of us, you know, and that's what the great thing about this community is, when you find the right people, you know. I mean, we have a great little friendship group that we are all connected with, and
Yeah.
it is some amazing people, and you know, it's just everybody's so supportive of everybody, and you know, it's just like, it's great because I see what you do, and I'm a type of person that wants to give out and help people. So when you do stuff like that, it helps inspire me because I see it works too, you know, because when I do it, it's just like, that's just who I am. Okay, whatever. Is it really affecting people or not? But then when you hear it from other people that it is, that's what makes it great, especially people who are doing the same thing, because they understand your feelings and your thought towards why you're doing it. So it's, Paula, kudos. It's just awesome what you built this last, year and a half on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
2 years since you really got into it.
Yeah, honest to God, when joy is the wage, it has been so healing, so wonderful. The experience alone of, if I help just one, is better than none. And I just kind of like, when I have messages from people that have said, you know, like some really heartwarming things to me, like I would have tears in my eyes. I'm like, oh my God, this really is all I needed. Like somebody today said, you know what, just reading this made me smile. I'm sorry I don't comment all the time. I'm said, you know what, the fact that you smiled, that's all I needed to know. That's all I need, right? And it's poetry. I honestly, people think it's fluffy. I've taken a different approach with the poetry though. And I have to say, like, it's my own style. I kind of just pound it out there in a way that is thought provoking, and it really will make you question it too. And that to me is something that I really like to provoke. I like to get the old noggin going there. So, I mean, when you think about, I call it the BAM, the brain, heart, and mind, those three things, you know, when The brain is just a computer. It just taps things out. It'll do what it's told. The heart is the leader because it's full of love, and that's going to command your way. If you let love to your mind and let those thoughts be open, you have to be open-minded and push that discovery button. You have to press the imagination. Don't ever let anybody else tell you other. When I walked around not having any kind of value or sense of dignity, that became my mission when I discovered that, you know what, we all have value. We all have something to contribute here. And that became a little bit of a mission for me. The fact that, you know what, don't feel like that. Don't ever let anybody make you feel that way, because you have a ton of value. We are all different. We all have, and that dignity is our birthright. I believe that more than anything. We are born with that birthright to be here. And damn it, it's our number one job to help one another. So if you help, it will pay off. It does. That's my passionate speech here.
Nice. No, it's fantastic. And Erica mentioned this somewhere in the things before, but we heard you say crap and damn it now. Oh, we've done it all now. Paula's there. So that was fantastic.
Do I say Paula? Dang it. But Erica's got one of those, she comes out with the best phrases. I have to read them twice and go, what does that mean?
And sometimes I have to Google them. So I'm like, huh? I'm just like, I don't get this. I'm just a dumb maintenance guy. I repair things. So I'm just like, do. Some of these words are like, boo. And I was like, okay, let me do that really quick.
He's awesome. And Curtis, oh my gosh, I got his book last week, and I have to say, you know, like, amazing. I'm so proud of him. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. I remember Curtis way back. I mean, like, giving out like $1 to help job seekers and with their resumes. Yeah, I got mine right here. Right here.
Oh, look at that. See, Curtis. Got a little free promo right there. Hey.
And it was just like, oh my God. So you know what? It goes in the home library. I told my daughters, I said, I've got everything you need here, because there's no way I could explain. I tried to tell them about ATS, and they're like, oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, well, you know, even up to last year in September, I was kind of until I gave Curtis a call. And then everything just took off, and it was just crazy. And me and him talked about it. It wasn't like my resume was bad. It was just keywords in certain places.
Yeah.
And that's all it was. And for me, when you work in the field and that's what you're doing, you don't think about all that other stuff, because it has nothing to do with you, really, you know, because you're so concentrated on what you're doing and what your job description is, you know. So no, that's awesome. You know, I'm just totally happy. And oh, here's Curtis. It's on there. I love it. It's much deserved, my friend. Yeah. I mean, it is, you know, and it's going to be Paula here soon, it sounds like. So that's going to be really awesome, and see what you come up with and, you know, want to put out to the world. And that's the biggest thing, is you're putting out to the world, you know, and that's just, it's amazing. And, you know, I have so much respect for what you do and your following, just for the fact that, like I said earlier, you don't really have to tag people or put much in there, and people just find it and engage on it. And that's the thing right there. That's when you know you're making an impact, when people find it, or they know you're posting every day, and they're going on your page looking for a post to see what you did.
And it's kind of awesome. A little bit of respite too, because it is hard work to get to that point. But the thing is, I wouldn't be pulled into anything I didn't want to belong to. I'm not a cliquey. I wasn't even part. I think it got to the point where I don't belong in a category. Everybody has a heart. So I wanted to reach everybody, really. And people, you teach others how to treat you. And the same thing applies to, you treat them how you behave as well. So if your behavior on LinkedIn is going to be the same, then they're going to know, oh, well, I know where she is, and figure it out that way. So it gets to that, like, I know who to look up when I'm looking for certain things now. Like, we learn. as we go here.
Absolutely.
Right. And then there's new people all the time too. So that's incredible. They just don't know the ins and outs too. So then because we've been here for a while, we know exactly who to recommend, which is networking.
Absolutely.
And that's another amazing feature that we get to do here. It's like, oh, you need this, here's this person or that, and like it's just incredible the power of networking.
I feel that I've met so many people networking that have become friends, and I still don't let everything out to people, because I still believe you need your tight circle, your inner circle. But then each layer is a little more, and it depends on who's in that layer and everything, And I've met so many great people on here that I've had the fortunate enough to meet, and that there's I want to meet another crew. Like if you're close to Braun, I would love to make it up to Canada and just sit down and have lunch or coffee or whatever with you guys, because
apparently
I swear we'll probably go an hour and we'll just laugh the whole time, because it'll be a total train wreck, but it'll be so much fun because it'll be us. It'll just be us, and that's what makes it fun, I mean, when I met Joe, I mean, we could have gone all night talking. It was just like, even though we talked on the computer, did a couple Zooms, it was like when we met, it was like we knew each other, we were friends. It was just like it was on, and it's just, I think those are the relationships we make when we're constantly commenting on the same people's posts a lot and gaining that trust of them, knowing they have your back. Like I said, there's 9 of us that we hang out and we do stuff together on the platform, and we communicate off the platform too, and every one of us has each other's back. And I don't think we would all be involved with each other if we didn't, because it's a bunch of great people. And I'm trying to put that out, other places too with people, it's just, but it's so hard to find that because it's so great that you try to copy it, but you can't copy it. You have to let it come out.
I like to think this group too, and to me, it's the originals. And when I came back, I think one of the first people I connected with and started following consistently was Ira. He was amazing to me, and the stuff that he was putting out there. And because I was thinking, oh, I'm going to have to find a new job if this doesn't work out, whatever. But I mean, I just started following. But then there was the human side of Ira, and he was putting it out there, and it wasn't like it was just, he was amazing to me. And every day I'd be looking at Ira's post, or, oh my God, he's posted something else. And at first I was just the quiet watcher, And when I left the corporate role, that's when I was able to verbalize things. Like I was very quiet before that because of the situation I was in. But after that, bang.
You brought up Ira stuff, and a lot of people know my story. When I got on LinkedIn, it was a Gary Vee post that said, just engage with somebody. And Ira's Follow Me Friday was the first post that came up after I watched that. Wow. And I just jumped in, and it was like Ira off the bat. Then it was Tina I commented on. Those two engaged back. And then I went through the line. I mean, I went through the line and commented on everybody's comment on that one. And holy cow, that life changed for LinkedIn after that. But then Ira was so supportive coming back. He goes, hey, I have seen you on my post. And then all of a sudden, your friend request has been accepted by Ira. What? And then he's like, hey, I had to dump somebody to bring you in, but I really like what you're saying. Then all of a sudden, can I get your phone number? Then it was a phone call. Then it was a FaceTime. Then it was a Zoom. Then all of a sudden, we're eating breakfast together in Southern California. It's just, it's so weird how it all happened. And to be honest with you, in a 4 or 5 month period, it really happened fast. At the time, it seemed like it took its time. But if you think about your whole life in general and everything, it happened fast. And it's just a relationship I always remember, and it was great. And then, you were so supportive to me when we first got on, and it was great. You just encouraged me, you love my shirts, you know. I mean, it was so encouraging. And I'm like, and I'm trying to figure out, like, who's this Paula lady, you know? And I'm trying to go through and everything, and I think she's a poet. She has stuff about all this stuff all over here, you know. And just going through, and some of the stuff I'm reading, I'm like, it's kind of over my head, but I kind of like it, you know. And because it's something, to be honest with you, I'm not a big book reader. I'm not. I don't get in that because I'm working. I'm reading maintenance manuals. I'm learning how to do more mechanical stuff and everything. That's the kind of men's sports. Those are the two big things that I read on and do a lot because that's my main interest.
I hear you. I never had time to read any of the stuff that I've never read so much in my past year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. But I'm a terrible memorizer. People want me to start quoting poetry online. I'm like, no. No, I'm not doing that. Oh my God. But
here comes Erica. Ira is the bomb.
See, she's got the best phrases.
And this is what Erica said about mine and Ira's relationship there. It was a LinkedIn bromance for the ages. Well, I call Ira my LinkedIn daddy. He got me, you know, started on here. He gave me all the tips at the beginning on how to do this, and
Papa
I'm very
Ira.
grateful for it. What was that?
Papa Ira.
Papa Ira.
He's the LinkedIn daddy.
He's the LinkedIn daddy.
He's the daddy.
That's just awesome. You know, it's. Thank you for sharing your story like that. And I know sometimes stories coming up is hard to talk about and everything. And I didn't know we were going to go down that road, but I really appreciate you sharing that because I just learned a lot more about you. Even though I know a lot about you, I just learned more. And it makes me more appreciative to what you're doing because it makes sense. You know, sometimes, like I say, you go down roads and it just doesn't make sense. And why? You question, it's so hard, it's so long in the moment. But when everything's said and overdone with, you look back and you said, you know what? The reason why I'm here today and I met these people is because of everything I went through. And this is the route I was supposed to take, even though maybe it wasn't the best. But at the end, it turned out to where it needed to be. I found the right people. I'm doing the right thing in life. I'm helping the right people. And
yes.
You know, and that's some of the hardest things for people to understand and realize in the moment, because patience is the hardest thing for a human to understand. It really is. So.
You have to trust the process. That's one of the hardest things about being on the floor. And I always think about it because it was my moment on the floor where things changed. And I just, you know, God gives you everything for a reason. And I just started talking to God and said, you know what? I'm giving it back. This isn't working for me. I'm giving it back to you and I need your help. And I was kind of like firm with him.
Yeah.
Said, I'm giving this back. I don't want it anymore. It's not working. I'm not doing it right. I need your help. And that moment was the transformation in my life where that little spark of hope just started heating up. And everything just, wow. I mean, that was the moment. I'll never forget it because that hope is the motivator for your faith. You give it to God, you have the faith, and things change. And the process, just trust it. Just trust it. It will get better. At times, I did not want to be here. I did not. I was a walking dead person. I was living in depression. It was a heavy cloak. And then I was able to take it off. And anybody else can too. It's possible. That's all I can. It's so important. Who am I to say anything without giving my story? My story supports the fact that it is possible. And that's why it has to be told, I guess.
I agree. You know, when people go through a tough time in life, you know, if people have battled alcoholism or drug addiction and they've made it through and they prove that it can be done, they need to share their stories because there's a lot of young people out there who need to hear it because they need that inspiration. They need to realize it could be done, but that's some of the hardest stuff you said, and I like when you said that you started talking to God and you were kind of like forceful, and you just said it, I think by doing that, not only were you telling God that you're being forceful, but you're convincing yourself, I'm doing this. And it worked for you both ways. Because sometimes you have to be forceful. And, you just have to say, whatever, damn it, I'm done. This is what I'm doing, but if you're looking at God to do that, he has to believe that you feel that way. You internally truly feel that way. And I think when you did it, you internally felt that way. So your prayers were answered, so because he knew you weren't going to give up.
God, he's always there waiting. He's not going to tell you what to do. He needs you to go to him. And that's pretty much how it is. When it comes to suicidal thoughts or anything, on a serious note, people do not choose to commit. It's an illness. If you've lost control, the body follows. That's the way I see it, because that loss of a sense of hope, when the hope is gone, the mind loses to the evil battle, and the body will follow. It's just so sad. It's so sad to be in that situation, and I'm just so grateful. That's my biggest gratitude in life, that I was able to realize that and own my own mind.
Obviously, we're all grateful, especially the people watching, because we got to meet you. We've come across you in life. And like I said, there's a reason you made it to this side. You made it to all of us. You've met all of us. You're meeting all the people you're doing and what you're doing. So, it's awesome. This podcast, this one is truly about gratitude, because you're expressing your gratitude. You're trying to help out gratitude with other people and express to them that, there is help. There are people out there to help you. You can find the help, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel, but you have to allow it.
Yeah.
And Paula, awesome. I mean, this is a great podcast. I didn't think it was going down this route because I didn't know, but but this is what's great, because what I tell you right before we're gone, this ain't scripted. We're going to talk about our LinkedIn journeys, and we're just going to go from there. I don't want to be scripted, because you mentioned earlier in this podcast that, I want to be the same person who is typing my text post as I am on video.
Yeah.
And I don't want to script a lot of things, because that's just not me. I just fly by the seat of my pants sometimes.
That's exactly how I'm comfortable. And I remember, because I'm like, oh, I don't even know what we're going to talk about. Should I be funny? Should I be like this? And all these, and then I said, and Professor Pete said, just be yourself. I'm like, you're right. Who else am I going to be?
Exactly. Because I thought about this for a long time, because you guys heard me talk about, I want to do a podcast. I want to do this. I want to launch this. Da, da, da. And I think I just overthought it. I'm like, I need this microphone. I need this type of computer. I need this background. I need this. Finally, I was like, screw it. I'm just doing it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, if I keep overthinking it, I'm never going to do it.
You know what? I'm so glad you did. And that brings up another point. Like, when I looked at back then, like, I didn't even have a desktop computer anymore. I didn't even have a laptop last year. I purchased one that was refurbished online. I had an iPad and a phone, and I do everything through my iPad practically. And I said, you know what, when it comes to one day, I'll invest in some other stuff. But you look at your resources, and they work for you. You make them work, right? And you did that. So good for you.
It's fun. And the biggest thing is the whole group we surround ourselves around have been so supportive. I almost felt like, if I don't do this, I'm letting everybody down. Because everybody's been so supportive. Do it. When you go on podcast, you're great. I'm like, so.
Yes.
And the thing is, I just want to talk to people.
You're committed.
Yeah. And what's going to be great about this is I think Thursday's podcast is going to be a little different with Ron. It's going to go and this is what the great thing is. I think everyone I do, since I don't do a script, we don't know what direction it's going to go. So that's what's going to make it so authentic and fun.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to start inviting people on this that I don't know, obviously. And it's going to be a first time just meeting somebody, and Lord knows how that's going to go, but it's going to be fun, because it's like, oh, you do a couple good posts. I see what you're doing. I like it. Come on the show. Let's see what we can do.
But
And
that's why you're so good at that, though. You are great at that because you start talking and you get other people talking. And I think it's your gift. You're able to do that. And you're so supportive yourself. It's incredible, Nick. Give yourself more credit.
God has blessed me with the gift of gab. So that's one thing I'm told, I think that's why when I'm in leadership positions, it helps me with my team and everything, because I'm not afraid to talk to them. I want to jump in there. I want to help them, and it's just and like I'm the guy in meetings to where it is like we're in a big time meeting and there are tensions and everything, and all of a sudden I'll just pop a joke and it just breaks the ice. I'm that guy. So sometimes it's like, but it's been very successful for me, and I try to stay humble, Paula. I really do. And I know I have some gifts. I know I'm good at certain things, but my wife and I always talk about we need to stay humble because it could all be gone tomorrow, and we try to stay as grounded as possible, but at the same time, I know what my worth is for work. I know where I stand with all that, but I don't let that get that in the way when I'm doing my job or thinking about my future, because I got to stay humble, because the last thing you want to do is get blackballed in an industry, and why? Just enjoy it. We have to work every day. Most of us have to go to work to support our stuff. So why not enjoy it? Why not enjoy the people around you? I mean, if you don't like them, you're only going to be there short term anyways. So, find something that you're going to like. I mean, you just got to stay positive. I know sometimes it's really hard.
Exactly, the attitude of gratitude. See?
Yeah. I mean,
when you take pride in just living your life and making the best of every day, I start my day thinking, oh my God, I woke up. That's fabulous. At night I go to bed and going, wow, I made it through the day. I got some things done. Some days are more productive than others, but you know what? Just ending and starting with being grateful. When you leave this planet, you don't get to take anything with you, but did you leave anything behind that made an impact on somebody else? That should be your legacy. What did you do to make it better for someone else? And you're doing it. My God.
When we're thinking of the name for this podcast, that was one of the things is Professor Pete came up with the name, which I loved, and I'm like, okay. And I forgot who it was, but somebody was like, what do you want your legacy to be with your podcast? And I never even thought about that. I didn't even, that wasn't even a thought in my mind. I'm like, you know what? Do I want to create a legacy? Because I'm that type of person. I'm like, I feel that's like gaining attention or anything. But then I thought about it. I go, you know what? It's not always about that. If I can help a couple people, that's my legacy. That's what I want to do. That can go out there. So I was like, cool. I like this. So that's how we decided to come with the name. It fit. Everybody tells me it fits who I am. And that's what I really enjoy, because I don't think this many people would have lied to me. So I have to believe you're all telling me the truth. So I just go with it and I enjoy it. And I'm so glad it comes across in a positive way. That's just, my mentors and people growing up, they were positive. They kept pushing me, they were leading me in the right direction. So the only thing I can think of is those people did to me. I would be a hypocrite if I didn't give that back to my team. So that's what I live off of, is I don't want to disappoint my mentors who worked hard with me and not seeing that I'm not doing the same thing they did for me. So that's kind of my mindset is, it's like a family legacy, if your grandparent did it, then your dad did it, and then, and it's something really positive. You want to continue that family legacy all the way down.
It's really, it's amazing how one person, we're all interconnected in some way. and you don't even know it sometimes. You could say a couple of words to somebody of encouragement and change the path of their life. Like,
Absolutely.
you remember that one teacher who said something on that 1 minute in that one day years ago, and it sticks with you forever. The
Mm-hmm.
same impact is from the negative words. When somebody blasts you, you're buried. I mean, you're like, oh my God. And for some reason, by nature, it takes one negative thing to knock out 10 positive. So it takes work to be positive.
Mm-hmm.
But and that's incredible to me, you know, and I never thought about legacy when I was younger. It's something that I don't even think about it until somebody mentioned it. I'm like, legacy. I always thought it was something, well, materialistic. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, you know, like, you mean leave to my, whatever I have is going to my kids, whatever. But it became something I thought about, and I'm like, no, it matters what I did on this planet and how I changed somebody else's life. Okay, yeah, I'm a mom, I have kids, but how did I make them feel?
You know, I've
Yeah.
had some impact on a couple of team members, and it's something I'll never forget. I
Yeah.
mean, absolutely, you know, I had one come up to me once and it was like, and I hired her. I should have never hired her in the position she was in. She just, a lot of stuff going on in her life, you know, and then she came up to me and she just excelled. It ended up being one of my best team members ever. And
Oh,
she got a huge raise. You know, we took a chance on her and it paid off. And I remember when she bought her house, she came up to me and she goes, you know what? It was because you didn't give up on me is the reason I have a house and I could take care of my family now. I
yeah.
will never forget that conversation. And she was crying in my office and I'm just like, stop it, you know, but I will never forget that conversation because at that moment, like I always say, it's not about my job description. It's not about what I have to do for my job. It's about things like that. That's what makes it feel like I'm a success is when you can do that with team members or friends or family members. And that's another reason on LinkedIn, I'm like, you always accept everybody. But you never know. You're going to come across that one person could change your life.
Yeah.
You know, stop being closed minded. Just, and if you don't like them, they troll you, just delete them. It's not that hard. It's just a click
Yeah,
and move on.
exactly.
But it takes one person to change your whole entire life. Either way, obviously, but if you can find that one that can change your life for the good,
Yeah.
it's absolutely amazing, you know. And
Yeah.
maybe you find 10 people and what they do all together can change your life for the good, you know. It's just life. Life is crazy. It's weird how it works, but you have to be on top of it too because like I always say, the real world will chew you up and spit you out because it doesn't care about you. You have to find a way to make everything work and find the right people and surround yourself around the right people. That's how you make the world, you
It's,
know.
it's
And
That's so true.
yeah, it's
Own your own mind and feed it good stuff. Be around good people that make you feel that good stuff. Because when you're with people like that, the power of kindness is just amazing. It's just incredible. You get to make those decisions. You get to make those choices. Before, people would be like, I'm stuck here. I can't do anything about it. Yeah, that's not true. Define your boundaries and respect them, honor them, and just show people dignity. That's all.
you know, Paula, I've been telling everybody I'm talking to and everything, I want to keep these podcasts 20 to 30 minutes. It's impossible, especially with my friends. I mean, we're going on 53 minutes
Oh
now.
my God. Okay.
Ira and I went on for over 50. I think Curtis and I were close to that too. And it's just like, it's just so hard because, you know, we've never been on a video chat before. Believe it or not, people, this is the first time I've jumped in a couple videos every once in a while that we're in with a big group, but there's never one-on-one talking or anything. The most we've talked were direct messages or on posts, you know. So this has been absolutely awesome and an honor for me to have you on the show. So thank you so much. I love learning more about you. It just makes me, how would I say it? I'm just so glad that we've crossed paths now. I mean,
Me
I
too.
was before, but this just took it to another level. for me. And
I cherish you, Nick. I cherish my little dream team so much. It's like my home base. You know, we're using baseball again. It's like the, you know,
yeah,
oh my God, it's incredible, really incredible, and I just love all of you. And I when you asked me to be on here, I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do that.
oh, you can do it. You just got to have fun and be yourself. I mean, people love you for who you are. And that's why I look at it. People, you wouldn't have 70,000 followers if you're a jerk. I'm telling you that. Well, some
Yeah,
people do.
no, I'm
We'll
not a
take
jerk.
that off in some ways. But there's some bots out there that are kind of with big followings. But that's not the point I'm getting at. But no, Paula, I just want to say it's been an honor to have you on the All Things Gratitude podcast. You got to come back on and be a guest again. We could. This is another thing. We can talk all night. I really think we can. You know, really quick for people out there, tell them where they can find you. What platform you're on. And
mostly on LinkedIn. I am everywhere, but mostly on LinkedIn. I feel loyal to LinkedIn because this is where everything started. And I had other social media. I'm trying to build it out there, trying to figure it out because as a writer too, I'm publishing in all those areas every single day, every time I have a new piece or something. But LinkedIn for sure. And I tell people I may be past the limit. That happens. But the engagement is anybody can do that. Engage with me there, or you can find me in other places. The website, Ira just did the website. If you go to secretthesoul.com, there's a list of where you can find me there too, so that works. Fabulous.
awesome.
Fabulous job by Ira. Oh my God, he saved my life. He's the web doctor.
So I'm going to tell everybody really quick, if you're going to engage with Paula on the post, make sure you get on early because Paula is going to tag jail. He will be in there, and I will be right behind that posting my little LinkedIn jail picture for her and tagging that on it, and we get that hashtag has some followers. It's great. So Tina hasn't done a couple follow me Friday or Friday Night Lights, and I like putting that all the time underneath her hashtag. Throw your hashtags. Paula's going to tag jail and hashtag jail.
Like, oh my God. I used to think people would be like, "Oh, does she tag everybody?" I'm like, no.
But it's so fun. Kelly Robinson had that the other day, so I sent her a text. I'm like, I'm waiting for the picture. I'm ready to throw it out.
Oh my God, Joseph and I started talking because he was in tag jail once, and I said, "Oh, I know all about it."
I'm a veteran at this, so but I'll make sure I'll get you bailed out next time. So we'll do a lot of fun. So Paula, it was great. Hey, everybody out there, thank you for the people who watch this live on YouTube. Once LinkedIn gets it figured out that I deserve LinkedIn Live, we'll do this on LinkedIn. But we'll wait for our day. We'll do it on both platforms.
Thank you, guys. So thanks for watching.
Yeah, if you see the little Canadian flag up in their corner, now please subscribe to my YouTube page. Come find us at YouTube. You can also find me on LinkedIn.
I'm all over you everywhere, so
come find us there. I mean, thank you for everybody watching and who's going to watch. This has been fantastic. The All Things Gratitude podcast has been a lot of fun, and I can't wait to keep going.
Sorry, Ron's making me laugh.
Oh, Ron's Ron. Let's see what he did earlier.
Bitcoin. I haven't read any of these things. I'm gonna have to read them later.
Yeah, Ira does say this. I'll do this really quick. He just says, "Love all your artwork." Some company named Bowman Digital Media did it all. I don't know where I found them. They just said, "Hey, can I do some of your artwork for you?" I was like, "Cool, right on." So I just went with it. So no, thank you, Ira. Paula, once again, thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate it. I'll post this tomorrow morning. It's going to be a lot of fun. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Everybody, have a great night. And Paula, thank you from Canada.
Thank you. Take care.
You too.